ॐ मङ्गलम् ॐ मङ्गलम् ओङ्कारमङ्गलम् ॐ मङ्गलम् ओङ्कारमङ्गलम् गुरुमङ्गलं गुरुपादमङ्गलम् गुरुमङ्गलं गुरुपादमङ्गलम् ॐ मङ्गलम् ओङ्कारमङ्गलम् ॐ मङ्गलम् ओङ्कारमङ्गलम् गुरुमङ्गलं गुरुपादमङ्गलम् गुरुमङ्गलं गुरुपादमङ्गलम् ॐ मङ्गलम् ओङ्कारमङ्गलम् गुरुमङ्गलं गुरुपादमङ्गलम् गुरुपादमङ्गलम् गुरुपादमङ्गलम्. A very good morning to everyone. As I say good morning because I do it in the morning. Yes, today is our topic, live in joy, not for joy. In that, today we are going to see a principle and which is extremely important in everyone's life. And the principle is, take charge of your life. Take charge of your life. See, during the Mahabharata Yuddha, that's called as the war, Arjuna, who was a great warrior, suddenly got completely disturbed and started crying in front of Krishna Bhagavan. So, Krishna Bhagavan did listen to Arjuna completely. But when it came to give a right suggestion, he did not sympathize with Arjuna at all. He said, Shudram Rudaya Daurbalyam Tyakto Tishta Parantapa. Shudram Rudaya Daurbalyam Takto Tishta Parantapa. Parantapa, hey Arjun. This Rudaya Daurbalyam, the weakness of your mind, is like a Shudra. It's like a very bad thing to happen to a warrior. And it's not only to a warrior, to anyone who wants to do something good, one who wants to progress in life. Tyakto tishta parantapa. Just give it up. The weakness, you give it up and get up for the right action. What a powerful message. This message we are going to understand. See, somebody asked me, why should I take a charge of my life? Oh, now just see, if, just for an example, you have a bike or a car, you're riding a bike, the accelerator is in your hand, the brake is with you, maybe in the hand or with your one of the leg. Now, both the charge of the bike as well as the gear and the brake is in your hand, and you can control the bike. Similarly, when you are driving a car, you are having a control over your car. Now just think, if you have a control over your bike which is yours, if you have a control, we should have a control of a car. If I am driving, then think, think twice that if I have this body, I have this mind, and I have this intellect, should I have a control over it or not? Should I take a charge of it or not? Very important question. So, my dear friends, see how do we interact or how do we gain the experiences? Think about it. So, we gain experiences because we interact with this world outside. We interact with the world outside. And now I would like to point it out here and give you a good sort of indicator and a point to remember. See, the world outside is same for all the people. World outside is same for all the people. But in this world, some are sorrowful and some are joyful and some are indifferent. How is it so? It's because of their own experiences of the life. Think. It's because of their own experiences of life. Now, let me give an example for this. First, for the students and the college going youngsters. See, if take an example of a mathematics as a subject. Most of the people, they have a sort of allergy to maths as a subject. Hope you will agree to me. Not everyone. So, a mathematics class is going on. The teacher is explaining beautifully. In the class, some of the students are enjoying and understanding and grasping it correctly. Some set of people are trying to understand and struggling, but doing their best and getting what is required. The last set of students are continuously looking at the watch and trying to get out of the class as soon as possible because they can't just manage this mathematics. This is one example. Let me just explain this example. See, I can understand that every field is not for everyone. But certain times, like in this example, we all have to understand if it's compulsory as a subject. So there's no choice for me. I have to, if pass the examination, mathematics, the paper, the subject will be there and I have to clear. Therefore, take a charge of the situation. Gear up with your mind and intellect and do 10 times more hard effort than required for any common person because here is your weakness. Second important example for the grown up people. See, take an example which is a sensitive subject. What is that sensitive subject? That sensitive subject is marriage. Marriage. See, in this world, not only in India, but globally, marriage is melody for few. Means some people, marriage is a great melody. And for few people, marriage is a great tragedy. Marriage is a great tragedy. And for some, it's neither a melody nor a tragedy. They're just indifferent. Now take this example and understand why the marriage is a melody. Because this husband and wife could understand each other and trying to adjust, even though there are differences, but with a great efforts and right love, they are growing above the differences. But where there is a tragedy, these two people are not understanding that unless and until we compromise and grow over our differences, we will not able to really gel correctly. The rest people, those who are indifferent, are what I would say more insensitive towards the life. So think about it. The world is same for everyone, but the experiences of everyone are different, and therefore people in the same world are sorrowful. Some of them some of them are joyful, and some of them are indifferent. Now let me take up this subject towards the solution. What is the solution? Please understand, we have three great powers with all of us. We have three great powers with all of us, by which we can really take charge of our life. Let me take one more point to make everyone sure that this life of ours, we have to live. Your life, you have to live, and no one else can live your life. Please mind it well. No one else can live your life. Also, you cannot live anyone's life. You also cannot live anyone's life. We or someone can support someone's life. Like we can support someone and someone can support us. But it is for sure no other person can live your life. Therefore, my dear friends, it is utmost essential to take charge of your own life, because it's yours and you have to live it. So it is your own responsibility to make it joyful and meaningful too. See, in this world, there are n number of times we listen that people could not find something as an purpose to the life, and that's why they have done suicide. Think, why is it so? Because they have not understood the life as an whole. Okay, coming back. So, I said we have three important powers with all of us. What are these three important powers? These three important powers are power of discrimination, called as Jnana Shakti. Power of discrimination, Jnana Shakti. Power of action, power of action, Karma Shakti. Power of action is Karma Shakti. Then willpower, willpower, Ichha Shakti. So these are the three important powers we all have. We all have. Now, he who or she who can manage to do everything in life with the help of the three power can take the charge of one's own life. Please note it. Let me give an example, a very different example. See, tiger, lion, even the elephant, these are all wild animals. These are all wild animals. And these wild animals, their physical power is, is incomparable with the power of human beings. They are so strong that it is beyond our imagination. But, but such wild animals also can be trained and used for different purpose. Like we all know, elephants are trained by different organizations. Mostly in India, you will see there are elephants with big temples. There are elephants. Those who are in zoo are well trained. The elephants, they are there for the jungle safari, the forest safari, and so on and so forth. Now imagine this elephant, which is completely wild, is trained correctly by a human being. That means we have taken complete charge of such a big elephant, and now that elephant is acting according to our own wish. Our own wish. Another example we have seen in big circus how lion and tiger are used for different sort of games. They jump from a fire ring, they jump from one sort of big platform to another big platform, and so on and so forth. Now, whatever the cruelty against animal, please, I'm not saying that. Just an example, and just keep your mind focused. One who is training all these wild animals, think and understand. Is he not taking the charge of their complete life? Think. So, this person who is a manager, who is managing these wild animals for his show in circus, has a greater power than the wild animals. Hope you will appreciate and agree with me. So, the point is, if as a human being we have such a great power, we can control and take charge over such a big wild animals, ferocious ones, very different ones, then why can't we take a charge of our own life? Then why can't we take a charge of our own life? Please think about it, and really you have to reflect over this, that we have a great capacity. Now I said we have to use these three powers correctly. Power of discrimination, that means this power of discrimination is there with an intellect. Then the willpower is there with the mind. And the power of action is there with our karmendriya, called as the senses of action. One by one, we will understand. See what I say, taking charge means what? Simple thing to understand. Taking charge means whatever you have to maintain it to the best of your capacity for the right action. Whatever you have to maintain it to the best of its capacity for the right action. So, what we have, if we ask this question, we know we have this body, we have this mind, and we have this intellect. Think. And we all have. Now, taking charge of our life is nothing but taking charge of these three equipments: body, mind, and intellect. Let us go deep into taking charge of this body, mind, and intellect. See, the gross is controlled by the subtle, and the subtle is controlled by the subtlest. So simple it is. That means body is gross, and subtler than the body is mind, and the subtlest of it is intellect. That means if your intellect is having a right power of discrimination, it can direct your mind towards right things. And if the mind understands the right thing and the right purpose of life, it can direct this body and do the right actions. Think yes or no. Now, one by one again. A body, if is not directed by a right intellectual power, what happens? Mind is a center point of our life. I mean, this mind is not rightly directed by this power of discrimination. The power of discrimination is gained by a right knowledge. A power of intellect is gained by a right knowledge. Example, like if you go near to the flame and touch the flame, the flame of a deepak, a lamp, if you touch, immediately you get hurt. Now, once you get hurt, your intellect registers and understand that never in life we should touch the flame because it hurts. It damages our body. Just see, I'm just giving an example. This is called as simple but direct knowledge. And this direct knowledge we can understand just not by going through the books, but keep your eyes open and see the world around. There are n number of people doing n number of different mistakes. Can we not understand that this is a cause of this action and this is a cause of this mistake? So if that is a cause of that mistake, why should I do the same action, or why should I repeat the same mistake? Think. Is it very difficult to understand by looking at somebody's mistake? Do you have to do the same mistake to get the same experience? This is not the right use of the intellect. Think. So, hope I have explained what I mean a power of intellect, that's called as power of discrimination. So this right knowledge about the life can be gained by a right perception, by a right exposure to the correct and the meaningful actions of life. Okay, coming back to this mind. If this mind is not well directed, what is the quality of this mind? This quality of the mind is, let me do whatever I feel like doing. In Hindi it is called as manmani. Very beautiful word. Manmani. That means whatever I feel, whatever comes to my mind, let me keep doing it. And that my mind considers that, oh, I have a real freedom. Oh, very wrong and incorrect way of living the life. How is it so? Imagine if this is our understanding that let me do whatever I feel like doing, then I'm giving an example. See, in our thought, in our mind, we have almost 50,000 thoughts per day. 50,000 thoughts per day. Now imagine if I keep acting on every thought, not understanding the quality of the thought, what will happen to me? Just imagine everyone's mind has good and bad thoughts. If we do not understand that we have to express ourselves through this right good thought, a positive thought, and whatever negative thoughts, even if they come, we have to slowly eliminate them and do not express them. So, he who or she who does not understand the simple logic of life gets carried away by wrong notions of the mind as well as the temptations of the world and ruin their life. Therefore, let us understand what is right freedom. The right freedom of the mind is to express that which is meaningful, that which is beneficial for oneself as well as the world around, and eliminate that which is not beneficial to you or the world around. Now, coming to the body, with this aspect of right knowledge and with right freedom, when we use this body, then through this body, we use everything of the world correctly, but we do not misuse it. We do not misuse it. And we never abuse it. Example, if there is lack of knowledge, then how people use this body? Oh, terrific, terrific, terrific. How do they misuse their body? They keep uh, staying awake till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. What are they doing? Looking at all sort of wrong videos and keep doing all sort of unnecessary things. Some people keep watching movies, horror movies, and whatnot. This is called as misuse, abuse. When you completely get yourself filled with toxins. What I mean? There are people who take drugs and make their body completely toxic. Some people, those who go and get completely addicted to alcohol. Same, they get completely carried away by the effect of alcohol. And that's how it's called as abuse to the body. What is the right use? See, this body can be used in such way where you also can be happy as well as the world around. How is it so? By utilizing your discrimination power. Discrimination power is such when you understand that something which is extremely negative in its origin, let us not get into it. Let us not get into it at all. Therefore, with a right knowledge of discrimination, we should direct our mind towards the right direction. And please understand, do not sympathize with your weaknesses. As I said in the beginning, Bhagavan Krishna did not sympathize with the weakness of Arjuna. He very rightly pointed out, Arjuna, Shudram Rudaya Daurbalyam Tyaktotishta Parantapa. Therefore, understand that negativity which comes in our mind or is there in our mind, that is a great weakness. That can lead all of us to the path of disaster, to the path of negativity, to the path of complete bad conduct. Therefore, understanding this reality, we have to use these three powers. What are the three powers? Power of discrimination, power of action, and willpower, Ichhashakti. Therefore, have a great right passion that can really improve you physically, mentally, and intellectually. So, my dear friends, coming back, what is taking charge about this body? If this body is fit, and you can by right efforts keep this body fit with right immunity, you have taken the charge of this body. Think. Important point second. What is called as taking charge of the mind? Let this mind understand the freedom, the right freedom. What is the right freedom? That thought which is positive, which can really give a great benefit for our self unfoldment as well as the improvement of the world, as the benefit of the world. That thought we have to express. The negative thought we have to eliminate. And such charge of the mind we have to take. Third, last but not the least, taking charge of the intellect. Think. Now I'm giving you a very important point. Intellect is a seat of decision. So, what is a weakness of intellect? Indecisiveness. Indecisiveness is a weakness of intellect. And this indecisiveness comes because of lack of correct knowledge, lack of courage. And therefore, both can be corrected by the right knowledge. So, my dear friends, decision is extremely important. If you take a right decision, the mind will understand the right direction, and through the body, it will do the right action and meaningful action. So, it is said, better than indecisive, take a wrong decision. It is said by a great Mahatmas. But do not take it literally. It is said, indecisiveness is a disease. Therefore, develop this courage, develop this right knowledge, develop this right thought pattern where you can directly take a decision which is beneficial for you. I am giving three important points as a supportive indicators to take a decision. See, whenever you have to take a decision, ask this first question: whatever I am going to do, how much essential it is for me? How much essential it is for me? You alone know it if you have a right discrimination. Second, if I do not do it, then what? If I do not do it, then what? Third, do I know the consequences of my action? Do I know the consequences of my actions? If all the three questions answers come positive, just Go and do it, because that action will be beneficial for you and can really be meaningful for your life. So, my dear friends, taking charge of our life is no doubt in our hand, and it should be in our hand, because anyway the life is ours. Why should somebody should take a charge of it? Think. So he who understands, or she who understands how to take a charge of this life, can live in joy and also can spread a joy all over. Thank you very much for being with us. Hope this pointers of live in joy and not for joy will be helpful to all those who are listening to it, watching to it. Jai Ho, and thank you again. See you.